Hello everyone, welcome back to YouTuber Tournament 7, and we are now entering the 8th episode of the series. We're already on the 8th episode, and now it is time for the third challenge. Today's objective, we will do the third challenge of the season. And as always, the losing team will be put up for elimination. Now, I have changed the rules of the challenge to this. Now, originally what we were going to do is have two teams fight each other and then have third against the CPU. But I could see that becoming an issue. So, instead, all 5 teams will now battle a CPU team instead on a 4v4 basis. Each team will take turns doing a match of Brawlhalla in timed mode. And whoever has the worst point differential out of all 5 teams, after all 5 teams have gone, will be put up for elimination in today's challenge. Now, let's get on with the challenge. Alright, so the first team that's going to be competing today is the Stampede. Or not the Stampede, the Wranglers.
3, 2, 1,
Alright, so the Wranglers will be in red. All teams will be, all the main teams will be in red. So if you're red, that's your team. If you're watching your team. Blue will be the CPU. And the goal is to have a better point differential than your other team. Regardless if you win or lose the match. It doesn't matter. As long as you have beaten one team in point differential, you win the challenge. That's all it is. There's 3 minutes on the clock for each game, as you can see right next to the teams. And it looks like the red team, it looks like the Wranglers have a nice point differential right now. All the difficulty of all bots in this game are set to chosen, so expect to see some pretty crazy stuff in this challenge. And this one is definitely going to be a hard score to beat, as the score is already, believe it or not, 8. So they have 8 points right now. That's basically how much points they have. Whoever has the highest amount of points wins. If you can go in the negatives as well if you suck really bad. And I'm still... And now the score is up to 10. Now it's 9 because one of them died. Back down to 8. Down to 7. And now it's back down to 6. So they just lost like 4 points right off the bat. But got some back, and now they have 8 again. That's a suicide. 10 points now for the Team Wranglers. That's a huge amount of points. They're down to 9. And I'm just in disbelief that they have 9 points right now. Okay. Now they have 11 points.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, game.
And that is it.
Red team
So the Wranglers have scored 11 points, which means, since that is technically the, well, my apologies for that, but technically they have the lowest score out of all the teams that competed. So, in other words, the goal for the next team is to beat that score to guarantee safety. If they fail to do so, the Wranglers will be guaranteed safety, and the Stampede will have to hold on and hope that their score survives. Basically, any or every team that will compete. The next team that will be doing the challenge is going to be the Stampede. It's going to be actually be the Stampede this time. I know I mix up the names a lot sometimes, but this is actually the Stampede. Remember, all teams are in red, the CPU are in blue. And let's see, the goal to score to beat is 11. Not an easy score. Not an easy score at all. Let's see how well the Stampede can do. Now, the thing is, the Stampede are down to 3 members, so they cannot afford to lose this challenge. And neither can the Mountaineers. If one of those 2 teams ends up losing the challenge, somebody from the Stampede, or no, not the Stampede, someone from the Wranglers, the Outlaws, or the Coyotes will be switching teams regardless. Somebody will be switching teams for balancing. So just keep that in mind if you're on any team that still has 4 members. So right now, the Stampede are at 0 points. Okay, now they are at 2. Not looking good for the Stampede already. And it's definitely... Okay, so they're picking up some pace. They're at 4 now. They really need to get their act together if they want to win this challenge. There's 4 winners in each of these challenges in the first wave. And this is just a third of 4. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what the Stampede is doing. But they're doing anything but scoring points. What is going on here? They're just running around in circles. I don't understand this. I don't understand this at all. The CPU team is also doing the same dang thing. And get this. The CPU team, which their score doesn't even matter, is -2. Meaning they would lose the challenge. They would lose if this was a team versus team thing. It's not. This is just a casual... I don't even know what the heck is to say. But it looks like they're going to finish off with 4 points since they're just running around in circles for some reason. And someone just died. That was not from the... That was from the CPU team, so that doesn't do anything. Oh, they're actually battling again. But the total score for this team is only 4. So that means the Wranglers qualify to be safe this round. And the Stampede are at risk of going up for elimination for the second straight cycle, which is not anything fun. Next up is the Mountaineers. The score to beat is now 4 because they ended up... because of the Stampede playing so poorly. And here we go. Remember, all teams are in red, regardless of what team you're on. Even if your primary color of your logo is blue, it doesn't matter. All of them are red. So the scores to beat is 4. Fail to beat that score and you lose. And right now the score is a whopping -2 right now for the Mountaineers, and they can't afford to lose this challenge either, as they also are down to 3 members. Now this is getting ridiculous. The score is -4 now. For the freaking Mountaineers. But they finally got some points, but they're still losing. As the score is now, it's back to -2, actually. They're getting close to offsetting it. But the goal is 4, and they're so far away from even that. Okay, so they scored. They just scored a bunch of points. They are now at 1. They now have 1 point. They need 3 to tie and 4 more to win over this. But they did just lose a bunch of points. And now their point scoring range is now -3. Which is not a good sign for this team. -3. Now it's back to -1. And now it's back to 1. It will take a miracle for the Mountaineers to not go home. Now it's back to 0 again. It's back to 0 points. Someone's going to die soon, possibly. There's just 10 seconds left, though. Now it's back to -1. Now it's back to 1 point. Or actually, let me take a count, because a lot just happened. 3 plus 1, that's 4. Minus... Okay, so their final score is -2. -2. So then that means the Stampede are safe from elimination. And now the Mountaineers are the ones in trouble now. The score to beat is -2, which means you technically don't even need to do anything as long as you don't go beyond that. Next team to go is the Outlaws. Remember, all teams are in red, and the score to beat is -2. I doubt anyone's going to be too bad at that. All right, so let's see what the Outlaws do. Oh, they lost 1. They're at -1 already. And now they are at 1. The Outlaws came close to elimination before, and now they're back to 0. And they look like they're about to go down to -1 again, based on the way 2 of their characters' health meters are at. And I was right and wrong, because they got to -1, but immediately scored points, and now they're at 3. However, they lost 1, so now they're down to 2. They're still 4 points ahead of the, or maybe, no, it's still, now it's just a few more. They have 3. Now they have 5. So now they are ahead of more than one team, actually. The Stampede had 4. Mountaineers had -2. However, the Wranglers had a whopping 11, so I highly doubt the Wranglers are going to be beaten. They're at -3 right now, so it's looking bad for not the Outlaws, but the Stampede, as they have a score of -2. Actually, not the Stampede. The Stampede have 4. I meant the Mountaineers. They're the ones with the -2. The Mountaineers are definitely in deep trouble. They're in very deep trouble. Okay, so now this team is going on sweat mode as they now have they have 10 points. They have legit 10 points right now. And they could even beat the Wranglers now. Okay, they're going down. They're losing points now. They're down to 9. Oh, there's a tiebreaker round? I'm guessing that's because they tied with the CPU, so they get extra time. By rule, this does count. And what is the final score after that? 9. It's still 9. I guess they didn't count the points afterwards. So it's going to be 9. That means the Outlaws are safe and are in second in this challenge. The last team competing is the Coyotes. And the score to beat is still -2. As the Mountaineers have set that score. So if this team scores at least 3 points or more, then that Mountaineers will go home. Or actually, no, if they score -1 or above, then the Mountaineers go home. If they score exactly -2, then we will head on to a second round with the 2 tied teams in a 2v2. And each team will take turns. Remember, all teams are in red, so as of right now, the Coyotes have 4. But if this team has a score of -3 or worse, then it will be the Coyotes that will go home. But as of right now, that's not even close to happening. They have 5 points right now. Okay, so they just lost a few points, but they are at 6. All these teams are going hard on this challenge. 6 points is where they're at. Now they're at 7 points. 7's a decent score. Now they are at 9. So they're actually tied for second. Up, they lost 1. They're down to 8, so they're in third. Get 2 more. They take second place with 10. They're just 1 away from first. Or they're 1 away from tying with first. The question is, who's going home? I think this is I think that's clear now. And it's going to be the same team that lost the first challenge. As this team right now has 10 points and there's only 20 seconds left. Yeah, I think this is over. Yeah, this one's they're at 7 points. The Coyotes are at 7 points. 9 points. And that is it. That is the end of the challenge. The Mountaineers are up for elimination again. So let me get this straight. You guys lost again? Come on, man. You gotta do better than that. Now, you guys have already been through this once, so you already know exactly what's going to happen now. You guys are going up for elimination again for the second time in 3 cycles. How does that happen? I don't know. That was kind of crazy, but rules are rules. You guys have to be up for elimination. This does mean if you are from one of the 3 following teams, if you are from the Wranglers, the Outlaws, or the Coyotes, one of you is moving to the Mountaineers when we begin the 4th challenge. And that is for balancing in case if the Mountaineers find a way to lose again afterwards. That way they won't be 2 people up for elimination in this team. Because that's not fair. Especially if the same team loses 4 times in a row. It wouldn't be fair because that would mean all of them would be eliminated, and it wouldn't. And then this tournament wouldn't be a YouTuber tournament. It would be a luck-based tournament. So for that reason, one of you from one of those 3 teams will be moving. Now the reason why I didn't select the 4th one, another one, which was the Stampede, they're down to 3 members as well. So if I were to pick someone to move from that team, then they would be at 2 members. So the Stampede, you guys are safe from switching teams because you don't have enough to do that. You don't have enough members to do that. The other 3 teams do. So that's exactly what's going to be happening once we begin episode 11. All right. Now that I've gotten that covered, now let's get to what you're supposed to be doing next. Next up, there will be a poll for the following players. It's just Miss Blondie, Chosen One, or Corey Dutson. One of the 3 of you is going home at the end of episode 10. So be ready. Be ready, because this voting is going to be a lot harder than the past ones, because previously there were 4 of you up for elimination at once. This time there's only going to be 3 of you, because you guys managed to lose twice in one cycle. Now this is probably not going to be the last time this happens either, as further down the road when there's less teams, it's going to happen more and more often. And there's points where it's guaranteed that people will be in a 3-player voting and even a 2-player voting. But that's further down the road. We're not that far yet. Alright, so tomorrow's objective will be, again, we will review some of Team Mountaineers videos again, which we done last time. This team has been up for elimination. So now we're going to be doing it again because they are up for elimination for the second time. So it's definitely going to be quite interesting to see how the 3 people use their videos to help them stay alive in this tournament. Now a poll for Team Mountaineers will go up for the viewers after the video is uploaded to pick who should be eliminated. Now, if you are a viewer and you are watching this, please watch episode 9 before you vote. Don't blind pick. It's not fair if you do it that way. As we will provide clips for you to help you choose who you want to eliminate. As it is essential to all viewers who think about voting, as the voting is in the community tab, which is the new home for voting. Previously, in the past, it used to be Google Forms. But now that YouTube has lifted the 500 subscriber restriction, I don't have to do that no more. All I have to do is just have a poll on community tab. Because previously in the past in tournaments, they still had the thing where you needed 500 subscribers to access the community tab or some dumb crap like that. And that was before I hit 500 subs. Now I have, but the community tab opened up before that because they removed that restriction, I guess, because of competition from Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. You get the point. Checks and balances, basically what I like to say about that. Basically, one platform checks another one, and yeah, you get the point. You know how exactly this works. Competition. Which can do good in all the platforms that are involved with it. Which actually just recently happened that I recently realized about YouTube and Spotify. Because YouTube has a lot of music and their new music thing on their platform, Spotify is now allowing you to pick whatever song you want to listen to without a subscription. Yeah. You used to have to do shuffle play, but I like shuffle play, so it's not a big deal for me. But that's not the point of the topic of this video. The topic of this video is YouTuber Tournament 8. Sorry, 7, not 8. I'm thinking ahead of myself again. Again, a poll will go up. Please watch episode 9 before voting. And the player who has the most votes out of the 3 of you who are up for elimination will be the 3rd player eliminated out of the tournament and will be receiving 18th place. So, good luck to the 3 of you later tomorrow, and we will see you guys in episode 9.